guys, welcome back, and you are welcome to Lego's Corner. And today I'll be doing my review on Real Housewives of Durban, and this was the finale episode, I think. So yeah, it was definitely the finale episode. So I'll be recording that and the reunions. So yeah, let's get into it. So the episode starts off where we left off, which is Nonku's night dinner type of thing. And the ladies are sitting outside and Nonku and Annie are having a massage. And I'm just like, what dinner is this? What dinner is this, guys? Where you have everyone sitting outside and then you having a massage. I'm not mad at it. If you guys have me stressed, then let me have my time to have a massage, okay? So yeah. The ladies are outside having a massage, and the rest of the ladies are waiting for tea, coffee, dinner, starters, something. We are waiting, okay? Because the host is having a massage. So what must happen? So everyone's looking cold and all of that. So you guys remember last time we left off, not us at Lego's Corner, but the audience. We last left off with Mabusi and Ayanda going back and forth about how Ayanda feels like the ladies didn't support her with her mom's passing and no one showed up and everything. And I kind of feel like Ayanda, as much as she's not very open, it didn't seem, and I'm not saying you're supposed to extend an invite to a funeral, but you're also not supposed to just click bam show up at a funeral, right? And let's not forget, this is like reality TV stuff, so I assume we are reality TV friends. So if your mom's passing away, I'm not gonna now jump to go to your mom's funeral. So she walked off, right? And Mabusi expresses to the ladies that she feels like Ayanda's upset and Ayanda's really in her feelings about what happened. And Ayanda comes back and Ayanda's like, listen, the situation with my mom and the funeral, let's not discuss it. And you guys, the tone in which she said it in and the mannerism was like, yeah, we're gonna stop. And Mabusi felt bad. Mabusi was just like, okay, she felt bad for bringing that up, so we'll leave it at that. On the other side, with Annie and Nonku's upset, you guys, and Annie notices. So Annie asks Nonku, like, friend, are you really okay? You don't seem okay. And Nonku expresses that, you know what, I'm not feeling good about what Mabusi said. You guys remember Mabusi was like, the stuff I've heard about you in the streets, I'm realizing that it's true. And yeah, Nonku's in her feelings about that. Like, you know what, how can you say that? You don't know me like that. And how can you believe what people are saying in the streets? Like, yeah, she's in her feelings about that, you guys. So then we jump over to the other girls, and Ayana makes a comment and says if Latonko was the one who was hosting this, everything would be going accordingly. So her and LC and Mabusi start to laugh about that, and they feel like, you know what, she's a horrible host, and that, you know, she doesn't have everything under control and all of that. And KG steps in and she's like, Komoto steps in and she's like, you guys are being mean girls. That is rude. You don't say that. And I was agreeing. I was like, yes, because they were being mean girls, you guys. Like, if you don't like her hosting skills, go back to your room, pack your bags, and go home. You're not chained. No one's chaining you there. No one's keeping you there. It's as easy as saying, dog, you have us out here in the cold. We're dipping out. Like, it's not for me. Your hosting skills are bad, but don't talk about her behind her back. But I also felt like Khomoto, is this you? Is this you right now? Really? Khomoto, guys. Khomoto, who's been yapping her mouth and judging every single person, every single event. Not every single event, but like a good 70-80. Khomoto has been a problem starter. She's been chiming in. So I was very surprised. I was like, oh, really? This is you? Is this you, Khomoto? Okay, whatever. But I was still agreeing with her. And they were feeling like she was doing too much. They were feeling like, you know what, Khomoto, you're doing a lot and it's unnecessary. And I didn't feel like it was unnecessary. They were being bullies in that moment. They were being mean girls and all of that. And I get it, you guys. I absolutely get it. Like, you're in the cold. The person who's supposed to be hosting you guys is out here getting massages. But I also feel like you guys are grown women and influential women. You can get it together. You can go to the kitchen and say, okay, serve us and all of that. You don't have to wait for Nonku, okay? You guys aren't teenagers. You don't have to wait for her. You can just go there. I assume the massage thing was right there. So you can go to Nonku and say, you know what, Nonku, we are cold, so we're going to go ask for food or whatever the case may be. Are you cool with that? And that's that. Don't talk about the lady behind her back, right? That's how I felt. But yeah, Khomoto chiming in, I was like, yeah, you go, girl. But I was also like, okay, Khomoto, whatever. So we jump back to Annie and Khomoto's feeling like around this group of women, she cannot be herself. Like, she feels like, not even she can't be herself. She feels like she is being herself and she's being judged for that. And that kind of triggers something in her that happened in her previous marriage. And she feels like that's what happened in her marriage. She feels like she was not allowed to be herself in her marriage, and she's recognizing that in this group of friends. And you know what? I agreed 100% with Annie. Like, you know what? This is some reality TV bullshit. These are your reality TV friends. So obviously you need to navigate that differently. Around your real friends, when the cameras are off and all of that, do you be you. But around these group of women, you can't do that because we're on TV and it's not going to translate the way you want it to translate. I think that's what Annie was saying. That's what I was understanding from what Annie was saying. So, which I agree with. Like, obviously, like, if you feel like you're being yourself and these women are still not getting it, then you need to navigate it differently if you want to pursue this route of being on reality TV. But I also feel like Nonku's full of shit because you know why? With the whole situation with Mabusi, from what I understand and what Mabusi said, I think last episode or the episode before that, was that her and Nonku have been friends for like, what, 10 years or something like that? They've been friends for a long time, you guys. She's known Nonku longer than all of these ladies, right? And I feel like Nonku has she's been playing Mabusi this whole time and acting like, no, I didn't invite Mabusi to that, or I don't know Mabusi that well. And now when Mabusi's in her feelings and now gaining a new group of friends and all of that, she wants to be in her feelings about that and feel like, oh, no one understands me and I'm just so, you know, misunderstood and all of that. No, Nonku, you did that. You did that. So I'm confused about that. If they're not really friends like that, then she needs to clear that up. But it's sounding like they were friends. She got on this reality show. She brought Mabusi on it. And when people didn't like Mabusi or felt like she's a weak stature, as Khomoto said, what the fuck does Khomoto know? Then she turned on Khomoto because, you know, it's this new clique and there's certain ways, so I need to be a certain way. But yeah, she got in her feelings about that. She starts crying. Annie comforts her with regards to that. Cool, great, fine. We move to the ladies and they still on about this whole, you know, Nonku not being a good host and all of that. So Khomoto's still insisting that, you know what, you guys are being mean. You guys are being mean girls and all of that. And it feels like Khomoto's being childish because you're not understanding what I'm saying. And I'm like, no. She understood it. We all understood it. I think Ayanda was trying to backtrack on that. She was trying to backpedal and feel like, you know what? No, I didn't mean it like that. I meant like, you meant it the way you meant it, Ayanda. You meant it the way you meant it. You were being a mean girl. It's fine. It is what it is, right? So then they carry on and they speak Zulu and all of that. And Khomoto's like, you know what? I'm not scared of you guys. And look, that was important for Khomoto to mention, I feel. Ayanda and Elsie took it as physically, like, I'm not scared of you guys. And Khomoto had to reassure them that, look here, you guys. I'm calm. Because as soon as she said that, Ayanda stood up on some, yo, hey. And Khomoto had to, like, reiterate that, look, I'm not meaning that physically. Like, physically, I'm sure you guys can take me on, but as you guys can see, I'm very calm where I'm sitting. So she reiterates that, no, I meant that as in the way that you guys are coming, verbally, mentally, all of that. I am not scared of you guys. You will not bully me. That's what I meant. But they decided to stick to that, and I don't know who said, between Elsie and Ayanda, one of them was like, you do not say that to a Zulu girl. I was like, where does tribalism, all of that, where does it come in? Where does it come in? A Zulu girl or not, the girl she was not trying to fight with you guys. On top of that, she reiterated why she said that, because you guys were being bullies. So the whole, you do not say that to a Zulu woman and it doesn't go well. No, we can all say that. You don't say that to a Tswana girl. You don't say that to a Pedi girl. You don't say that to a Sutu girl. You don't say that to a Xhosa girl. We can do that all day. But she explained that the way you guys are operating, it's very mean girl-ish. And if you guys are going to operate that way, I need to let you know before you guys even start that I am not scared of you guys. We can go all night with this. Right? And I felt like it was important. I was proud of her for standing up for herself, which, you know, Komoto can handle herself. Cool, great, fine. Cool. So Nonku and Annie, after Nonku finishes crying, Nonku and Annie come back to the table, and here goes Komoto, and, you know, she's trying to stir shit up. That's what Komoto does. And she's like, oh, we were just talking about how Ayanda and Elsie feel like you're not a good host and all of that. And you guys, I commend Nonku. I commend Nonku for the way she handled that. You know what? And I think it's just the exhaustion. She was emotionally exhausted. I don't know on any other day how she would have handled that, because sometimes Nonku's hard to read. It seems like she's, you know, with the shits sometimes, and sometimes she's not. In this moment, she was like, you know what, I was not here for the conversation, so I have nothing to contribute to it. I have nothing to say. And I was like, yeah, that's the way you handled it. I was so happy for her, because Komoto was wanting a fight. Komoto thought that Nonku was gonna, you know, blow up and be on some, why would you say that, whatever. And I also feel like there's something, I think I saw this on Twitter, someone mentioned that, you know what, I feel like Nonku holds back with Ayanda because she thinks about, you know, the kids. And I feel like that is so true, because in some of the confessionals you can kind of see hints of Nonku just not feeling Ayanda like that. But in this moment, I think, in a lot of moments, I think she holds back because she feels like, you know what, I've introduced my kid into the situation, so me and Ayanda falling out is not the best situation for whatever we have going on. So in that moment, added on top of the emotional exhaustion of it all, she was just like, you know what, I wasn't here for the conversation, so I'm not gonna say anything about that. And then the whole time, you guys, Sorishka was so over it. Sorishka was over this conversation, and I kind of feel like Sorishka is really over Ayanda and Elsie. Like, is anyone else getting that vibe? Because I'm getting that vibe that Sorishka is really like just over them. But we'll get into that. We'll dive in a little deeper into that, why I feel she is. So Nonku takes the ladies on a zipline trip kind of thing. So yeah, and Ayanda, guys, Ayanda shows up in heels, and I was like, you know what, I'm here for the extraness that Ayanda comes through with, like the extravaganza, the I have to overdo it, I have to look fabulous the whole time. Like, if there's someone who's here for it, it's me. I'm here for it. But I was like, really, Ayanda? Like, really, bitch? Really? Like, even if Nonku didn't give people the memo on what's supposed to be happening, because I remember last episode, she just said they're going to a vineyard, and the ladies came dressed up, and when they got there and realized they're going to be picking grapes, they were like, okay, we're confused. Even if that was the situation here. If you get downstairs and you see everyone in their sports attire and tackies and everything, I don't know, is it just me? I would feel like, oh, let me go change and wear my, tackies or whatever the case may be. But no, not Ayanda. Ayanda shows up in heels and everyone's like, why? But I'm here for it. But why? Like, that was so unnecessary. You could have put on some glitter tackies or whatever. If you feel like you the one who needs to show out, you could have done that. But yeah, they go ziplining and we see Ayanda struggling. She's struggling to get into the truck. She's, whatever. We get upstairs. We get up onto the hill to do the ziplining. Nonku goes first because she feels like she's the host and she needs to show these girls that they shouldn't be scared or whatever. She goes. Annie and Khomoto go. They feel like, you know what, we about it and it's no big deal. They go. Lokonko goes. Sorishka, I think, Sorishka. She decided she's not doing it. She decided that she'd rather do the hike rather than the zip lining or whatever. So we're left with Ayanda and Mabusi. And you guys, here we go with the theatrics. Here we go. Everyone's waiting for them and they're up there. I'm gay. All of that. And everyone's waiting in the sun, guys. I would have been so annoyed. We're waiting in the sun. Mabusi eventually goes and she goes with the instructor or whatever. And we're waiting for Ayanda. Also waiting for Ayanda. She's also up there with the theatrics. And the other girls are very annoyed. I saw Saoirse went back to the car and I think she was sleeping. And the other girls are just waiting and they're feeling like, you know what, if you don't want to do it, then why did you come? You know what I'm saying? But I was also feeling like, Nonku, we can say the same about you with your dinner situation. Like, you kept those ladies waiting in the cold. So you can also wait in the sun too. If Ayanda feels like she wants to take her time to get on that zip line, you'll wait. Eventually she goes there. The instructor's carrying her heels and all of that. And we're just like, do better. Do better next time. Ayanda, honestly, do better. There was no need for you to wear heels. So we get to the next scene and Ayanda's in her room. I'm assuming trying to get dressed up for dinner, picking an outfit and all of that. And we get a knock at the door. It's Ayanda's brother. Yeah, Ayanda's brother's like, okay, he's here to glam up Ayanda and all of that. They have a little gossip session and I have to admit, you guys, it was funny. Say what you want about Ayanda and her being a mean girl and all of that, but her brother and Elsie are a great trio. So she's, telling him what happened, what's been happening or whatever, and she obviously has to be extra about it. And this person was like, when you tell your friend or your sibling a story, you have to put a little spice on it. She was being dramatic. Get a knock at the door and it's Elsie. Elsie also contributes. And basically the bulk of the conversation was about Khomoto and how she was acting at that dinner. Like how Khomoto was just chiming in on things she had no business chiming in. And I have to say again, I disagree that, you know what? Oh, I forgot to mention that Khomoto said at the dinner that, you know what? How come you guys aren't saying this to Nonku's face? How come you guys haven't said this? And how come if you feel like Nonku is throwing such trash, is a trash host, why do you guys keep coming to her events? That's what Khomoto said. And I completely agree. Like, why do you guys keep coming? If you guys feel like she's so trash and her hosting is so trash, why do you keep coming to her events? Is what I don't get. But yeah. Basically, the bulk of the conversation was about Khomoto and how she was being childish and how she was on one and she wasn't supposed to be going as hard as she was going. And Yeah. So on the other side, we see Khomozo and Sorishka also talking about what happened, and they also feeling like I said, like Sorishka seems very over it, and Sorishka says like if it were to go down, she would have had Khomozo's back. Okay, she would have had Khomozo's back. And I think I've already noticed this even before this episode, that there is a divide in the group. So it's Mabusi and LC and Ayanda, and then on the other side is Annie, Sorosha, and Komoto. And Nonku fades in and out. I think Nonku is in and out of the two groups, but there is definitely that divide, and I think Sorosha definitely put a stamp on which side she's on this episode, because she was like, you know what, if anything were to go down, she would have had Komoto's back in that moment. I feel I have to add in that moment, because Sorosha strikes me as a sensible person that when you're right, she's gonna side with you. When you're wrong, she won't side with you. So she felt like in that moment, I would have definitely had Homoto's back. So we see Nonku meet up with Chef Siba. Yes, and I think Chef Siba is gonna be cooking their last dinner or whatever the case may be, and she invites Chef Siba to come to the dinner, and she seemed like skeptical. She was just like, okay, I'll come. Okay. So we get to the dinner, and everyone looked amazing. You guys already know Ayanda's gonna kill it, and I have to say I really loved Nonku's Matkosa two-piece. Amazing with the braids too. Like, I love me some braids, you guys. I love braids. Okay, no shade to wigs. I wear a wig now and then, but braids, I love the braids. Everyone looked amazing. And then Nonku, you guys, so randomly decides to go around the table and say something about the ladies. It was so random, you guys. It wasn't, she didn't even announce it. She wasn't like, hey, I'm gonna go around the table and say something about each lady. She was just like randomly. And you know, in the confessionals, Ayanda felt like, you know what, this could go left real quickly, because I felt that way. Even in the preview of this episode, I was like, what is Nonku doing? But yeah, she goes around in the circle and tells the ladies about themselves. She said good stuff. She said good stuff about everyone. I'm not going to say what she said about everyone. I'm going to stick to what I remembered and what stuck out for me. She said that Annie, you know, has this hard exterior, but she's actually very fragile. And Annie took offense to that. Annie was like, fragile? No, bitch, I'm not fragile, right? And she said that Ayanda was this good person, whatever. I'm not sure what she said. Not sure, but she said good stuff about Ayanda. And Annie was kind of feeling like, really, this woman was talking trash about you, and you're gonna sit up there and compliment her after Homoto, you know, stood up for you and all of that. And I kind of felt like Annie in that moment was being childish in her confessional, because it's like, dog, just because someone was talking shit about you doesn't mean you can't express the good qualities they have. And I feel like that's what Nonku was doing as a host. It's like, it's our last night here. Let me just tell everyone how I feel about them. And she gets to LC and says that LC is someone who commands presence. Every time she walks into a room, people can feel it or whatever. And LC was just like, I know that. And everyone felt like I saw like a lot of comments of people feeling like she had a big head in that moment. And I was just like, no. When you know, you know. Guys, when you know, you know. Why must you humble yourself? You know, I mean, you have to humble yourself sometimes, but if there's something you know about yourself, then why do I have to be like, oh, no, I didn't know that? No. Elsie just felt like, but I know that. And I wasn't mad about it, you guys. I really wasn't. I was like, yeah, if you know it, you know it. That's fine. So yeah, so I thought that was very nice. And what did she say? Oh, she said Khomoto is someone who very much stands up for herself and all of that. And I agree. Like, Khomoto, as much as whatever you want to say about her, she is a a shit starter and all of that, but she is someone who doesn't back down and stands up for herself. Like she said, like she's not scared and all of that. So yeah, have there been moments where I feel like she backtracks on what she says or whatever? Yes, definitely. But I feel like she's someone in the moment, she stands her ground, and that's that. So I agree with her 100%. I agree with her about everything she said about all the ladies. So yeah. So the next day, Nonku takes the ladies to a vineyard. I think that's where they produce her wine. You guys know she has a wine, so that's where they produce her wine. So they go underground into the wine cellar, and Elsie is in a bad mood. Like, she's in a very bad mood, and she's kind of feeling like, you know what, she's not a wine person. So I think that that should explain her bad mood, and I'm kind of feeling like no, because Ayanda also says she's not a wine person, and she felt like it doesn't hurt anyone to just, you know, put it around your lips or whatever, and, you know, backwash it or whatever the case may be. I think that's what Ayanda was doing, and I kind of felt like the same way, because I'm also not a wine person, you guys. I'm not a wine person. So but in that moment, I'm not gonna have a stank attitude and feel like I'm not a wine person and I'm not gonna participate in what's going on. No, bitch. Smell the wine, backwash it, whatever you need to do, but you don't have to sit there like you're having such a miserable time. So I really appreciated Ayanda's attitude towards the whole thing and how she was participating, even though she felt like she wasn't, you know, a wine person. I forgot to mention, all the ladies felt like, you know what, Khumutso redeemed herself after the first wine showcasing thing she had at her house, which went really badly. So all the ladies felt like, you know what, you redeemed yourself, this was nice and all of that. So yeah, while we're sitting there having wine and eating, Nonku mentions in her confessional that Nonku has Mabusi mentions in her confessional that Nonku has been a little weird towards her, and she wants to address it. So Mabusi asks Nonku, dude, are we okay? And Nonku's like, you know what, last I checked we were. And Mabusi feels like, you know what, I've been getting a vibe from you, that's why I'm asking. And you guys remember, right? Mabusi didn't get flowers at Khomotso's event or something like that. And on top of that, Nonku has been clowning Mabusi this whole time. So as a peace offering, I guess Khomotso felt like, okay, let me give Nonku some flowers and chocolates and all of that. So she does that. And we saw while the ladies, excuse me. So we saw while the ladies were getting ready for ziplining or whatever, someone left flowers in front of Nonku's door, right? So we get into that, right? And Nonku's like, okay, what happened to I found the flowers I gave you. What was that about? And Mabusi kind of beats around the bushes and feels like, no, I didn't leave those there, whatever. Eventually she does say, like, you know what, I took the chocolate but not the flowers. And everyone's kind of feeling like, and he's like, okay, this can be resolved very quickly. What happened to the flowers and all of that? And Mabusi's like, I don't know what happened to the flowers. And Annie's like, well, the chocolate, what happened to the chocolate? Because the flowers were there, but not the chocolate. And Mabusi's like, no, I took the chocolate. And that, I kind of feel, exposed her and showed that, you know what, you actually did leave those flowers in front of Nonku's door, but you took the chocolates, right? And everyone's kind of like wondering why, right? And then Mabusi's like, let me ask you something. Who bought those flowers? And I was like, I was very confused by that. Who cares? I assume, in my mind, you guys are all very successful women. So, yeah, some of you have the time to go to Woolworths or whatever the case may be to buy flowers. And some of you send your assistant. So, Are you saying, Mabusi, that you were offended that Nonku sent her assistant or whatever to buy you flowers? And on top of that, I heard someone make a comment about the flowers being for Woolworths. Bitch, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whether the flowers are from Pick and Pay, Woolworths, or whatever the case may be. Like, the lady got you flowers as a peace offering. Take the flowers, alright? I was so over Mabusi in this moment, but at the same time, I was like, you know what, Noku, that's what you deserve. With the way you were treating Mabusi this whole time, like, I'd also be like, take your flowers, but I'll take the chocolate because because who's denying chocolate like that? Who's giving back chocolate like that? I was like, no, I'll take the chocolate, but you can have your flowers. Thank you. No, we don't have time for that. But in that moment, I felt like Mabusi was being very childish and beating around the bush and feeling like, oh, I don't know how the flowers got there, whatever. You left those flowers at Nonku's. You know that. Just say that, you know what, the chocolates are nice and I can't refuse chocolate, but I'm not ready for this peace offering. There's nothing wrong with that. If you're not ready, you're not ready. Especially if someone has been treating you like shit, then you can be like, no, I'm not ready. Try again. So Nonku gets the ladies to drive. I think this is the last day they have in Cape Town, and Nonku gets the ladies to drive Harleys, and it looked really nice, you guys. It looked really nice, and they're just driving around Cape Town on their way to the yacht, right? And it looked very nice, you guys. Here goes Khomoto. One thing about Khomoto, you guys. One thing about Khomoto is that she will remind you that her man is an icon. I was like, okay. So Khomoto says, while they write it, Khomoto says that, this reminds her of the times when her man used to play for the Springboks and how everyone would be like out cheering for them and everything. I was like, you know what? If I don't have a partner who feels like I'm an icon the way Khomoto feels like her husband is an icon, I don't want it. Let's leave it. I don't want that love. Let's leave it. Yay! Khomoto. One thing about Khomoto, she will let you know that her man is an icon. I thought that was very funny, you guys. So they get to the yacht. It looked very nice. Everyone looked very nice. And you guys, this is how I know Sorosha is really over Elsie and Ayanda. Sorosha had a problem with Elsie finding her little spot in the corner and drinking and eating her food. And, usually I'm on the same page as Sorosha, because I feel like Sorosha is one of those people who aren't reality TV people. She's actually a real, person. So in terms of reality TV shit, it does not translate, and then real people feel where she's coming from. But in this moment, I was like, Sorosha's doing too much with these comments, because Sorosha was like, Elsie's in the corner by herself and all of that, and I was like, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong. I'm one of those people. Like, it's not even a thing of, you trying to distance yourself or whatever, because it didn't seem like a big boat. It seemed like they were there and she was there and the sun was shining on her, and she felt like, ooh, let me get a blanket and eat my food, take some selfies, and it's nice over here. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, okay, so you're doing too much, with the comments. You're really doing too much. But yeah, the boat ride looked amazing, you guys. It looked like all the ladies were having fun. And we love to see the ladies like this, you guys. As much as we love drama, we also love to see grown women get along and all of that. So that looked good. They were dancing and all of that. It looked really nice, you guys. So yeah, that's how the episode ended. They showed where everyone's at in their lives right now. And yeah, I'm looking forward to the reunion. I saw that Khomoto's not coming back. Fat Joe's hosting the reunion. Okay, I'm just going to talk about things outside of this episode. Just, background information outside this. Not even background. Everything that's been happening outside this episode. So Khomoto's not coming back. She's on to bigger and better things. And I'm like, you know what? This is my issue with South African reality TV. South Africans, I feel like, are so afraid of backlash. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, you guys are, as soon as you get backlash, you decide, oh, I want to quit. It happened with the first season of Real Housewives of Johannesburg, the few girls or whatever that got backlash or whatever the case may be. And it's not even necessarily backlash. It can also be being hyped up. You guys start, it's either you get backlash and you feel like, oh, I don't want to do this anymore, or you get like good criticism. You guys get good energy from people and all of that, and you feel you get big heads, and then you feel like, oh, I can do my own thing or whatever, which is what I feel like happened with Mercy and the daughter, which backfired because of what they had going on their reality show. It wasn't that good. It wasn't good, period. Actually, it wasn't good at all. I feel like they should have, just stuck it through. And there was some who got like really bad criticism, and they quit. So I think that's also another annoying thing about South African reality TV. They need to work on that, because I think that's what happened with Komodo. I think she saw all the backlash she got and decided, I'm not coming back. And you guys need to realize that there needs to be a villain and there needs to be a protagonist, and that's just how it is. But I also feel like in South Africa it's not quite the same as America, whereas you're not getting paid as much in South Africa. So for you, it's like, I can imagine for Homoto, it's like, this is chump change and I don't have to do this shit, and I don't have to deal with this Twitter stuff and all of that. And whereas in America they get big checks for what they do, and it's kind of like, you know what, if I have to be the villain, I'll be the villain, let's do it. But yeah, I wish you guys can do better. South Africa, please do better. But yeah, this was good, you guys. Real Housewives of Durban was so good. I feel like it trumped both first season and second season of Real Housewives of Johannesburg. Like, I would love to see second season. So far we've only heard of Khomotso leaving, so I hope it's just that. Yeah, it was a good season, you guys. They really impressed me. Outside of the show itself, I'm gonna talk about editing. The editing was very confusing. It got better during the end of the last 3 episodes, but in the beginning the editing was so bad, you guys. Like, mid-conversation and then it would cut and then next scene and all of that. So I assume they're working on that, but that was very like confusing to me. And yeah, I hear Real Housewives of Joburg is not Johannesburg is not coming back, and that's sad to hear. But yeah, you guys, like, and that's also another thing, like, South African reality TV not even reality TV, everything TV lacks consistency, except for Moja Love. Moja TV, that's where the consistency is at. But other than that, no, there's no consistency. Like, people start season 1 and then season 2, watch Real Housewives of Durban season 2 is gonna come out in like 2 years. Like, can we do better? Like, same time next year and the following year and the following year and the following year. But in South Africa, even besides reality TV, like a good TV series or whatever the case may be, they'll disappear for like 2 years, and then, hey, now you're on season 4 of something. It's like, what? That makes no sense. So yeah, let's do better with that. But yeah, you guys, I enjoyed the episode, and I am gonna be reviewing the thingy, the reunion, so stay tuned for that. But this episode was good. I will give it I'm gonna give it a 9. It was very good, a 9 out of 10. It was a very good episode. The whole season, a 9.5. The other half, like I said, the editing was really bad in the beginning, and they kind of got off to a slow start. There was a moment there when I felt like there were like 6 or 5 episodes where we were talking about Sfiso and Nonku and Ayanda. It was all of that, and there was like 5 episodes of that. So yeah, but the whole thing was like, I have to give it a 9.5. A 9.5. It was a really good season, you guys. So I look forward to seeing the ladies back next season, if we have a next season. Cause child, like I said, the inconsistency with South African television is exhausting. But yeah, we'll see. Anyway, you guys, that was my review for Real Housewives of Durban. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you guys see you back at Legos Corner. So yeah, have a good day. Bye.